coming to you from the world where the Triforce goddesses and the random number gods collide. This is the Link to the Past 2019 tournament, now in 2020. Hi again, everybody. I'm Jex Reffy, and I'm joined today by Koi. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Are we sure it's 2020?
I'm pretty sure it's 2020. Hard as that is to believe.
Is that in every part of the world? Because I know time zones exist.
I think now that we're 22 days into it, I think everyone's gotten there. Anywho, enough about time zones and whatnot. We've got quite the race today because we've got Asazas versus SaltyPhry. Game number 2 between them, and Asazas took game 1.
Yeah, I believe this is fast cannon is what SaltyPhry went with.
I believe so. I also believe we're off. That was fast.
Asazas finding a sword in Sanctuary. He has a huge lead in the first 10 seconds of this race. Who knows if SaltyPhry will ever go to Sanctuary and get that sword?
I mean, I would assume he would do so fast. Oh, hey, 3 crystals in the light world, and we got a 5-6-1 in Hera, so...
A little unfortunate for SaltyPhry. He gets bumped by that red guard there, loses his sign, so no early tree pull. We'll have to wait for another one.
Well, Asazas will show its tree pull, and it's Bloopies. Hey, a blue shirt from our uncle. And red rupees off of the bush crabs. So if you need to farm Zora money, got it pretty fast.
Well, not much on the uncle route for SaltyPhry, just that blue mill, but he did find out that the guards are in the bomb prize pack, already finding a bomb.
We got flippers on the lumberjack ledge.
Yeah, pretty likely we'll have to get those flippers, but as long as swamp isn't required, we could sequence break it.
I mean, with 3 crystals in the light world.
Yeah, it's pretty likely.
I mean, if you've got both swamp and ice as pendants, it is possible we may not need it.
Okay, SaltyPhry, for some reason, keeps stunning these guards before killing them, even though knowing they're in the bomb prize pack. But 20 rupee stun prize is nice still.
I mean, I was about to say, knowing that it's 20 rupees, I mean, again, farming money for Zora, especially knowing that flippers are on the lumberjack ledge, if the need for flippers is because of not necessarily a dungeon or frankly anything but Swamp Palace, like that's easy. You've got the money to get around it, and it's setting up nicely. As long as Swamp is not a crystal, I think there's a strong chance we may not get those flippers off of Aga.
Yeah, it's also possible Aga's just required in general for Dark World access, in which case you would just pick them up when you're in the area.
And with all that money that Asazas has picked up so far, it's not a surprise he's starting south. Gonna check here in the tavern for a book, and then we'll most likely go buy bombs here shortly.
I don't think SaltyPhry understands that they're in the bomb prize pack, because it makes no sense to get the 20 rupees when you could get bombs. Because he only has the one bomb, he feels like he needs to go all the way south through Kakariko to look for bombs and buy bombs from the shop, when if he had just killed the guards and gotten some bomb drops, he didn't have to do this.
Piece of heart in the chicken shack. Model vendor today, giving a 50% return on investment. And it's SaltyPhry with the chicken clip.
Yeah, chicken clip's really fun. Unfortunately, didn't get it all the way through. If he stood in that room long enough, though, the chicken would work its way out.
Alright, piece of heart there. 20 bucks. Master Sword.
So about that Aga requirement.
Yeah, about that. About that.
It's still a little too early to tell for sure, but early Master Sword typically means early Aga.
Toot, toot. I see a flute.
Yeah, flute definitely a nice find here in Kakariko. You get to activate it on your first trip rather than having to walk back here.
And a Brian Kane means this Blind Hut brought to you by Blue Things. SaltyPhry gonna get his return on investment, activate the flute, and then I would imagine that once Asazas walks out of here, it's gonna be time for the National Swag Duck Anthem performed by Asazas.
Where were these rupees that Azazaz has that SaltyPhry doesn't? Just the 20 rupees from the bush crab?
I think so.
Oh, he hasn't been to the well yet. I bet there's a 300 in here or something.
No, he did about, since he went up to Aga, he did the one bush crab by the lumberjack ledge, then did the one on the route to the 2 checks in the Lost Woods. I'm pretty sure that's how he got them.
Yeah, it looks so. Is that as up about 200 rupees over SaltyPhry? Probably not gonna matter though.
Yeah.
Oh, SaltyPhry going for the early bed check.
I mean, you got that book, and given you might as well do it.
I'm not a huge fan of this play, just because we know all 3 pennants are in the Dark World, which makes it much less likely that a pedestal is going to be required. But it doesn't rule it out.
Yeah, I don't know if I would go this out of the way. I mean, the one thing, the flute helps because now, you know, you can just flute to 7 like Azazaz did. And since it's a little bit of love and no ped today. Oh, by the way, there was a red cane in the dam and a phantom Ryu cries in the wilderness.
Yeah, SaltyPhry also going to pick up that red cane. Both of our runners with a very similar route so far. SaltyPhry just doing that uncle start.
We got a mirror in the dam.
Yeah, early mirror with the flute typically means going up the mountain. But who knows what else is going to come? Do we get a hammer for East Dark World, or we get mitts for maybe the Mire area?
Ooh, Azazaz almost got an indirect flight. Managed to avoid takeoff.
Yeah, I think he forgot to switch to bombs, and when he went to throw a bomb, he had the flute equipped.
Well, we found both male upgrades.
Huh, a cape and a master's sword.
I mean, if this seed is not wanting Aga, if we don't end up with Aga, this is gonna be quite the troll.
Aga's looking pretty good. We will need to find the lamp for that to be logically accessible. But, you know, plenty of checks left to find that lamp. Anytime now. But not in Ice Rod Cave. Azaz's gonna have to look somewhere else. Desert is definitely an option right now. Not ideal to go there though. No fire source, no glove.
Okay, Azazaz is gonna head north. Have to think he does Uncle Tunnel, so he'll get his red mail. Maybe go inside?
Yeah, I don't think he goes up here unless he's willing to go into front of Escape.
You almost have to wonder if you find lamp in the front of Escape, do you just go at that point?
My general rule is not to do Aga until at least I find the Moon Pearl. But yeah, if he found like the Moon Pearl and the lamp, I'd say yeah, definitely do Aga. Don't go anywhere else. It's very likely to be Aga required at that point. Plus, you know that Aga leads to the flippers, so trying to skip it and then swamps the crystal, like, oh well, you know, now you have to go do it anyway. It's a very safe play to kill Aga at this point.
Well, we will find out, because as we suspected, is going to go ahead and do that front of escape. SaltyPhry, meanwhile, sequence breaking to get the old man. Because of flute, you can get up here logically, but the old man is off limits without the lamp.
Just to clarify with Chad, Azazas is the only one. Azazas is the only one who knows about the flippers on Lumberjack.
Yeah. Zaz. That's how I know to pronounce it.
It's S's and Z's, but we're pronouncing them all the same.
Oh, there's a bow!
Bow's definitely a nice pickup, but it's probably just going to mean he does not do Aga here, no matter what else he finds.
Yeah,
Eastern is too valuable a location. And there's that lamp up on Spectacle Rock Cave.
So, Aga is officially in play.
Aga intensifies.
I mean, but here's the thing. To your earlier point, like, now with the bow, like, and the lamp, that means Eastern and Hera are both full clearable at this point. Like, I would, at this point, I would do both of them. All right, Swamp is a crystal. We gotta do Aga.
Yeah, that was Pendants at TR, Skull, and Green at Ice Palace, I believe.
No, I think it was Thieves Town. Thieves Town was the
Thieves?
other pendant. So putting all of that knowledge together, Bombos Ether Tablet, that's ironic. I would probably still do Hera and Eastern at this point, because I gotta, well...
I mean, SaltyPhry does for sure, because he doesn't know about the flipper requirement on Lumberjack. But for Azaz, like, he's not going to go do Aga until he finds the lamp at the very least. And because he found the bow before going up the mountain, he's definitely doing both of those crystals.
Yeah. Yeah, and see, the problem is that, like, I'm speculating both based on the combined knowledge. If I had the combined knowledge, I would do Hera, do Aga, and then combo Pod and Eastern together since I have the mirror. I think that's the way I would do it. But Azazaz is gonna go ahead and do at least Saha. We know Lamp is in. Wrong thing, Azazaz. Oh yeah, Pearl, forgot about that. Hey, glove in Hera.
Yeah, and a glove in the light world here means that SaltyPhry is just going to be one more item after he finds the Moon Pearl from being able to get to the Dark World without Aga. If that's available, he probably won't be killing Aga at all until he checks Lumberjack.
Mm-hmm.
And at the very least, he's much more likely to put off doing Aga until he's at least full clear the light world here.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about, in my thing of saying, oh, I'd combo Pod Eastern, I forgot, oh yeah, you don't have the Pearl, so that kind of throws a monkey wrench into that.
Of course, that Pearl can just be sitting on the Pyramid Ledge.
It is possible. Alright, SaltyPhry is about to take a ride on the roller coaster. Big key first item in Eastern. And down goes Trolldorm.
Yeah, narrowly avoids poking the tail at that last hit there.
Striving Duck in chat brings up a good point. With that glove, all the Light World dungeons can be finished unless Desert is boots locked.
Yeah, and going to Desert without being able to full clear it is a very dangerous play in general. It takes a long time to get through that dungeon.
And that's exactly where SaltyPhry is heading.
Yeah, so SaltyPhry's routing here is completely based around the idea that I do not want to do AGA if it's not required. Because if he goes to front of escape and gets nothing, he feels very pressured to do AGA. So he will be avoiding the front of escape for now. I'm a little surprised he didn't save and quit and like do back of escape with his newly found gloves. I think that would have been a safer play.
I can see it both ways. At some point, you're going to have to save and quit.
Yeah, probably just saving it for after he does a Gina escape. A very convenient place to save and quit from. Well, we are not boots locked for the big key, at least.
We will find out momentarily, though, if we are boots locked. Are we?
No boots locked today.
Nope.
We're gonna have 3 crystals before doing AGA. If we even do AGA, maybe the hammer is in this dungeon.
Alright. SaltyPhry using good use of the hammer to route his way through desert. Asazas making his way... Oh, fire rod! So that means Lambo has an item.
Yeah, Fire Rod and Desert, kind of a nice find there for SaltyPhry. Asazas, it's very possible he ends up not going to Desert before Darkhold access, because he knows AGA's required, so as soon as he finds the Moon Pearl, like, just going to do AGA real quick is the play. So if we find this Moon Pearl here in Eastern Palace, I just don't see him going to Desert at all, not wanting to risk the possible boost requirement.
Well, I think the one thing is for certain you're doing... For certain he's going to have to go up the mountain to get the lamp.
Yes.
Which means he's going to go ahead and do Hera. It'll be interesting to see what decision he ends up making. Very nicely done on the red Igors.
Setting up for his top right.
And playing Ring Around the Armos Knights. Ashes, ashes, the Armos Knights fall down. And that's the first crystal for Azazaz.
Yeah, and still no Moon Pearl. We don't have much left. We have Gina's Cave, Zora, Pyramid Ledge, and whatever item is here on Landmo.
And Back of Escape.
Oh yeah, and Bag of Escape, absolutely.
And Azazaz going to the mountain. As predicted. Alright, Lambo down for a... Wow.
Well, I think I know where the Moon Pearl's gonna be. That hookshot giving us access to East Death Mountain. Lots of checks over there in Paradox Cave.
You know what the saddest part about this is?
What's
We're
that?
potentially 2 items from Go Mode already. Hammer and Titansmiths, if Bombos is what you need to get into Mire. We're already 2 items for Go Mode.
Put on the boots. We'll need the boots to get the flippers for Swamp. SaltyPhry walking out of a game escape, not saving and quitting to Back of Escape here.
You're right, I forgot. You need the boots to get the flippers.
Where are you fluting, SaltyPhry? Don't go to Eastern. Don't do it! Okay, he's going to East Death Mountain.
Yes. Since he has the hook shot, 7 items back there. Makes most sense.
He should still have gone to Back of Escape, though.
Watch, SaltyPhry's gonna get Moon Pearl and Hammer here, and then no one's gonna go to Back of Escape ever.
Yeah, if he finds a way to not do Aga, he will not do Aga until he finds out about those flippers. Alright, Paradox Cave with nothing and nothing. Awesome.
Alright. Next 5 we got here. Red thing, blue thing, red thing. That can get us access to Sick Kid. Blue thing, blue thing.
So essentially just one fetch quest here in Paradox Cave. He's got another item over in Spiral Cave, but that's about it. Where is his Star and Moon Pearl? Checking the island, just 10 arrows.
Pete Train praying for Moon Pearl Go mode.
That would be unprecedented.
It would be unprecedented. I also don't think it's possible at this point.
I think I've played something like 2,000 Seeds. I've had Moon Pearl Go mode once.
There's
oh, nice
Pete.
sword. But no Moon Pearl. Okay, now he goes Back of Escape, right? Surely.
Yes. Finally, he goes to Back of Escape. Are you happy? Ooh,
Oh,
Azaz's got a poke. Got him.
Very dangerous poking Moldorm, but he makes it out okay. Yeah, Back of Escape is one of those things where you can't really combine it with anything else. No matter what you do, it's always by itself. And it's always inconvenient to get to unless you're coming from a save and quit. So typically, oh, nice boots. Typically, you just come here as soon as you save and quit the first time. So now we have boots, so that's Bonk Rocks, I guess. And SaltyPhry is probably going to be checking Lumberjack and finding about those flippers. And then I imagine he's just going to go kill Aga. Nope, he is not. He is going to Front of Escape. No, save and quit. Okay.
Yeah. And I think Azaz is now about to get his fantastic footwear.
Okay, so SaltyPhry here, he's going to check Bonk Rocks, check Lumberjack, find out, oh, I guess the flippers are just required. And then, knowing that Aga is required no matter what you do, you just go do Aga in Front of Escape and hope for the Moon Pearl on the pyramid.
Alright, Azaz is gonna check Dark Cross. Yes, Zora is in logic because the glove is the thing that would allow you to get to Zora. You can't get anything else on the way because of those flippers on Lumberjack Cave, but Zora is in logic.
Oh, that's funny. That might be where our Moon Pearl is. We're in the flipper area.
That is entirely possible.
That's pretty disgusting logic for the game to require you to do that, to kill Aga before you can find your Moon Pearl.
It would be absolutely hilarious. And
is there
I
something
think
on the library?
There's $300 there. I think. Oh, he forgot. He must have forgotten.
I mean, you go grab it now. Like, you're here. Zora's like in your future.
That's what I'm. And see, that's what I'm wondering.
Going desert before Aga. This is surprising to me because, I mean, I guess it doesn't really make a difference. It's just like, what if the mitts were on the pyramid, right? And then you could get to desert faster.
Alright.
It's just you know Aga's required. Like, there's no way to sequence break Aga in this scene. You have no choice in the matter. So why not just do it now?
Well, we'll see what SaltyPhry does, because he still has front of escape. We know he'll just get the bow.
Yeah, he should do front of escape here before Aga, just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, he's gonna do Dark Crossroad here. Yeah, I think you do Aga at this point. I think even when he finds the bow, there's no point, now that you know you have to do Aga, at the very least for the flippers, you might as well just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, there's the only thing to be gained by like doing Aga later is maybe you find equipment that makes Aga faster. Like finding silvers would be nice, but SaltyPhry is on tempered with fire rod. Like Aga's not really getting much faster.
Okay, I have a crazy idea for you.
Why are you skipping front of escape? Okay, Salty, there you go.
No, what he's doing is he's setting up the mirror.
Okay. Alright, I see.
Alright, you want to hear my crazy idea?
Go for it.
Alright. Titan's mitts are on the pyramid ledge. One of the flipper checks, or let's say checkerboard cave, something along those lines, has the hammer. And then Zora, I'm trying to figure out how to get this Moon Pearl go mode. I think you do Titan's mitts on the pyramid ledge. Let's say, yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out how to do mirror.
It's possible, but it's pretty unlikely. There's just too many locations left. I mean, most likely our Goma is going to be like a different medallion from Meyer or something. We can be hopeful that it's Bombos, but are we ever so lucky? Alright, front of escape done. SaltyPhry headed on to Aga 1. He will be our first player into Dark World in about 5 minutes.
Tigra is asking, he just joined, where's the hook shot? Give it about, give it a few seconds, you'll find the answer. Hey, there we go, there's the hook shot.
Asazas continuing to Agina's cave, probably saving his way out of this to the mountain for East Death Mountain. I still think he should just go do Aga, but going to the mountain will get him the Tempered Sword, which will make Aga a bit faster.
So logically at this point, we still have Zora available, but everything else has been checked. So if the Moon Pearl isn't on the pyramid ledge...
Yeah, it's likely out of flipper check.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. I forgot, because the flippers then open up the entire Zora area, not just Zora himself.
Kind of a weird situation where the Moon Pearl is locked behind Aga 1, but it's not completely unprecedented. Like, I've seen Moon Pearl on the pyramid enough times. That Moon Pearl
Yep.
behind Flippers behind Aga 1 isn't too uncommon.
Well, before we get to figuring out where that Moon Pearl is, we gotta figure out how many blue balls the old man wizard's gonna throw at us today. So get your guesses in chat. And for those of you that are new, Aga 1's pretty simple. First shot is always gonna be a yellow ball that you reflect. Next three are random, could be the yellow ball or the blue ball. This time it's yellow. Get a bolt of lightning, and then we spin again. And there's one blue ball. There's two.
There is an upper limit on the number of blue balls, guys. They can only go up to 15.
That doesn't stop chat from being chat. There's four. So I would say max at this point is 7. Because you're going to get the required one here. Then you're going to have 3. And there we go. So 4 it is.
All right, and now it's time for Aga for asazas.
So
Finally
Melissa,
having to come here. Still no Moon Pearl.
Melissa Angel YT, congratulations. You correctly guessed 4. And you get to watch Bunny go see that. Wherever the Moon Pearl is, it's behind those flippers. So now SaltyPhry is predictably going to do Eastern, because he got that bow as he was making his way up.
I find this a little disappointing that he didn't get the flippers first to do that, and hopefully do Eastern pod together.
For those asking in chat, yes, this is fast Ganon. That is why the pyramid is already open.
Alright, so SaltyPhry is going to go through Eastern. He's not going to find anything helpful, and then he'll have no choice but to go get his flippers and check the flipper checks. Asazas going through Aga 1, where he will find nothing helpful on the pyramid, and then go get his flippers and do the flipper checks. And at the end of the day, we're going to be pretty close. No clear leader through this light world.
Fast Ganon, do you need all the crystals, or could you just go and fight him? Yes and no. Yes, you can go and fight him, but at phase 4, he's invincible and you can't kill him. You need the crystal count, whatever it is set at, in order for Ganon to be vulnerable to then be able to, roast him.
Alright, 4 blue balls, no waiting. Let's go Asazas. The crystals needed to fight Ganon can be randomized, but for this seed, this one we're playing right now, it is set to 7. It's always going to be 7 here.
Yep. And for the tournament, you can only get to 6-6.
SaltyPhry making his way to Armos. Looks like Azaz is gonna get to the Dark World before he finishes.
And I get down for Azaz.
So it was 20 rupees here on the pyramid. Azaz should probably pick them up. Because we have Zora in our future, and he's still right below that 500 mark. Oh, he's mirroring right onto a tree. Oh, SaltyPhry accidentally shooting a 6th arrow there. He's gonna have to go through the red Armos. Still gets it done pretty quick though.
Yep. So we are tied at 3 crystals. Alright.
Should be a save and quit from SaltyPhry here to follow Azaz over to Lumberjack. But no. Oh, he hasn't been to the hospital yet.
Nope. Yeah. Small problem. After you finish Aga, tree pulls are no longer a thing.
Well, they're a thing. They're just different trees now. I have no idea which trees are tree pulls after you kill Aga.
Alright, Azaz has his flippers. SaltyPhry is checking Ice Rod Cave. Azaz is gonna do Sick Kid.
Just go to the flipper checks, you guys.
I think
SaltyPhry is setting up water wall. Okay.
SaltyPhry is saying to
Sure.
heck with the flippers. I'm just gonna Jesus walk it.
I mean, why not?
And Azaz is gonna do it the intended way. I mean, technically it is faster doing it the way SaltyPhry's doing it.
SaltyPhry looking away from his screen for a second. I mean, on the whole, it's a good thing that SaltyPhry did Aga before finding this hammer, because that would have been really bad if he got Dark World access without knowing where the flippers were.
SaltyPhry forgot about the how to set up his fake flipper from there, so now he's going to get the real ones.
Surely, this is where we're gonna find the Moon Pearl in these 4 checks.
Right there, number 1.
Yay! Azaz did find some rupees on the way. He will be able to afford the Zora item. Just, you know, not anything after it.
Red rupee there. There once was a fish named Zora who gives you flippers and vanilla. But in Rando he sucks. For 500 bucks, we did the stupid trick for a piece of heart.
So Azaz's best option here is probably Palace of Darkness. Very dense location. It's not a great Gomo dungeon typically, But he does have lots of things available to him, including Skullwoods and Thieves Down, although Thieves Down is a pendant.
He's also missing cash for the extortionist monkey.
Right. Yeah, because of his rupee routing here, he ends up being pretty short for getting into Pod, and thus is forced to go here. SaltyPhry, meanwhile, will have enough rupees for Pod, so I expect that's what he's going to do after this.
Chat's already hoping for vanilla mints.
That'd be pretty gross. Of all the things we have available to us, that's not a very fun place to go. Pendant Thieves Town. Looks like Salty's opting for a height cave start, probably going to Pot afterwards. But, you know, with the mirror, he could also go left and re-enter the Dark World like Kakariko.
Alright, SaltyPhry, meanwhile, is gonna go take a visit to the Johnny Two Bombs Distillery. Just gotta remember that the password is the behind-the-back explosive handshake. Get your 10 sticks, and get your 4 items, a piece of heart, more sticks, a heart container, and another heart piece. Shout out to TJ Maelstrom for letting me borrow that.
So one unfortunate factor about the way the items laid out in this seed is that Catfish becomes really weird to route in. Like, we already did the flipper checks. We already checked Pyramid by virtue of just killing Aga. So going up to Catfish, while it's not a long trip since we can just save and quit to the Pyramid, it's very out of the way. So if Catfish ends up being required, it might be a long time before anybody sees it.
Alright, just to map off of Mothula. Here would be my counter to that. Azaz leaves Skullwoods, does Bumper Cave, Graveyard Ledge, and King's Tomb, and then can just swim across and do Catfish.
Yeah, that's the only nice way to route in Catfish that's still left. But even then, comparing those checks to going into Village of Outcasts or going to Pod is pretty gross.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong in saying that. I would just say that if you were concerned about trying to route Catfish in, that would be the way I would do it. Especially with how well equipped we are right now. Because then you can just mirror Catfish, flute back to 3, and then you're right there to do Village of Outcasts.
I'm sure our runners are also keeping in mind that they're just one item from go mode, potentially. If Bombos is Meyer, all they need is the mitts and we're done. So doing the slower checks is pretty undesirable. Compared to doing Swamp or Pod, which we're gonna have to go to anyway.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, I would probably do Swamp, or I would do Skullwoods, Pod, and Swamp before I even touch the town.
Azaz still looking for that second item. Looks like it's going to be in the pinball chest.
Yes, remember kids, V31. V31 advancement logic means a small key is not required to be here, so it's a piece of heart instead in this seed.
Azaz still on the lookout for rupees. He needs 100 more rupees to get into Pod.
Stun prize will get you there. Heart container on Bumper Ledge. And with early big key, SaltyPhry is going to do Helmassar and then do the rest of the pod.
Another potential day ruiner for us is Spike Cave. Spike Cave mitts would be pretty horrible. Spike Cave all by itself until we have the mitts.
Another piece of heart there.
Alright, we'll get to see King's Tomb.
Mm-hmm.
But is he gonna go? It's a catfish. Oh, there's some rupees.
Yep,
Catfish isn't looking bad now. He can continue the catfish route into the pod.
And that flute pole tells us, no, he ain't doing catfish. He's got his cash, he's heading for pod.
This kind of writes off catfish entirely. Like, you just don't go to catfish anymore.
Yeah, now at this point, it's orphaned. If you're not, your best, okay, let me put it this way. If you're that concerned about catfish, the easiest way to do it is to probably route it right now after pod. Otherwise, you're gonna have to go out of the way to go check it. Ten bombs on Helmassar, crystal number 4 for SaltyPhry.
I would have liked to see Azaz do like a Pyramid Fairy into pod here though, because Skullwoods was his second red crystal. He hasn't seen Hyde Cave yet.
Oh, Chad also reminding me, because we did Aga, you save and quit in the Dark World, then you start at the Pyramid, so that would also make the routing easier for Catfish.
Yeah. Yeah, like getting to Catfish isn't hard, or it's not even that time consuming compared to normal, but it's still just one check compared to like everything else, which is multiple checks. So when you're just looking for one item for Go mode, like you don't go to Catfish when you have Swamp available, when you have Thieves' Den available, etc. Which is also why Spike Cave is such a dangerous location right now. Except that wasn't even their own doing. The seed kind of made Spike Cave horrible to get to. SaltyPhry finishing up Palace of Darkness here. Could it be the mitts? No, it can't. Feels bad, man. And pod was empty. SaltyPhry is gonna have to look for progression somewhere else.
Let's see where he goes next.
Probably Skullwoods. No?
Swamp.
On Swamp? Kind of a bold play, Swamp Palace here. Like, it's a crystal, you can full clear it, it's a dense item location and everything. But it's still pretty gross to have to do left side, even in this situation. But he may just be intending to skip it. As his ass doing the hammer jump. For a reason. At least we have the mirror shield.
We do have that. Alright.
I don't know, there's just not a lot to talk about. It's just we're waiting for somebody to find the mitts.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we're about 50 minutes in, and it's, I mean, assuming Bombos is the Meyer medallion, we're just waiting for mitts for go mode, and it could be a race to the mitts.
Yeah,
So,
definitely whoever finds the mitts first will have the advantage moving forward. But the medallion for Meyer is definitely in question. We only have one of the three. It could very easily just not be Bombos to enter Meyer. And if Salty does find the mitts here in like the next chest in Swamp, does he continue full clearing just in case it's not Bombos?
I don't know. I'll tell you this, if it is Titan's mitts, like if Titan's mitts are in here, I'm immediately bolting for Meyer to see if I'm in go mode. There's Mushroom.
Definitely not a happy thing to find when you're one item from go mode. Fetch quest. SaltyPhry skipping the left side for now, pretty standard.
Asazas working on Helmasar.
To answer chat, yes, all seeds in the tournament will be using the advanced item placement logic, so nothing is required for Laser Bridge, other than just access to it.
Double heart containers. There's compass, so something is on the left side.
As up to 5 crystals now. Swamp would be the play. Looks like it's gonna be the play.
Yep. SaltyPhry making quick work of the small puffballs. Ooh, almost had the quick kill. There we go. Down goes Argus. And a red meringue from the red eyeball.
And he does have 2 items locked behind left side here. Not sure if he plans to go back in, though. Either going back in or not going back in can be looked at as the gamble. If they're on left side and you skip it, you're so behind if your opponent does do it. If you do it and your opponent doesn't and it was empty, you're so behind. Like, there's no right answer here.
Bombos tablet yields heart piece. Yeah, I was doing a casual race with some friends last week, and the coffee break room in Hera had Bombos, which was what was needed to get into Meyer for go mode, and everybody, I mean everybody, left coffee break room orphaned. And at like the 2-hour mark when we all found Bombos, we were all like, are you serious?
Yeah, oftentimes in like the daily races, like the large races, you'll see the stronger runners, like the more experienced runners, not skip locations like that because they can fall back on their execution. You know, knowing that even if they check more things than other people, they'll still have an advantage just because they do everything faster. But in the tournament, especially at this stage in the brackets, you can't rely on that anymore. Everybody's really good, and skipping anything or doing anything extra will absolutely change the lead.
Part of that is also knowing who you're racing against and knowing what their tendencies are. You know, if you know someone's going to skip doing left side swamp because that's what they always do. If the item is on left side swamp, like you can kind of play to that.
I wonder how much vetting actually goes on. Like, do you think they look through each other's VODs to see their typical routing strategies? Looks like SaltyPhry not turning in his mushroom yet. Gonna head on to Skull Woods. So as far as checking catfish goes, this puts SaltyPhry in a really good position to check catfish, because when Azazaz did King's Tomb and the like, he still had 2 crystal dungeons he can go full clear. So going over to catfish seems like a waste of time. But for SaltyPhry, already having done those dungeons, catfish isn't looking that bad anymore.
Well, about a half hour ago, we thought this seat could be like a super fast jet seat, but now that we're stuck looking for Titan Smiths, as we're getting close to crossing the 1 hour mark, it is getting tense. And if Azazaz wins, he moves on to the next phase of the bracket stage. If SaltyPhry wins, it forces a game for 3. And Asazaz is just mowing down those puffballs.
Oh, he missed one though. 9 out of 10.
Very nicely done, Azazaz. Like, I was trying to set up the please give both Azazaz and SaltyPhry follows on Twitch. If that swamp boss fight doesn't get you to follow Azazaz on Twitch, I don't know what will. And Azazaz also skips left side swamp, so neither has an advantage, at least at that point.
It's so funny because the Zero Cycle Argus is like one of the worst effort versus time save ratios of all the tech in the game. Like, it's a very, very difficult tech to do, and it saves very little time. But it does save time, and Azazaz put the work into it to get it done. So why not? So it looks like they both skipped left side. So no time gained, won or lost there. I mean, I feel like the most likely outcome here is that we just find Mitts and Thieves Town or something, and then Quake is in TR, right?
I mean, chat's having fun with how trolly can we make this Go Mode be?
I really think Spike Cave is probably the worst possible location for the Mitts. Like, you just have too much stuff available. You can't just go up to Spike Cave real quick. Oh, where are you headed as?
Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe moving on to Catfish after if he gets nothing here.
Alright, the Figment had probably the perfect line for Link to the Past Randomizer. Two things are certain in these races. Rando's gonna rando, and chat is gonna chat. That is probably the most truest statement I've ever heard.
Interestingly, SaltyPhry not going after Bumper Cave Check and Kingsoon and Graveyard Ledge, instead going straight into Village of Outcasts.
And there's Titan's
But
Mitts!
the Titans Mitts were in Pyramid Fairy, and we are possibly in Go Mode.
We will
Also-
know soon enough.
Yeah. Also, rip Catfish forever for SSS. If this isn't Bombos and like Catfish is required, like, oh my god.
We will know momentarily. Is Azazaz in Go Mode or not? Survey says 1 hour, 1 minute, 27 seconds. Azazaz is in Go Mode.
Go Mode. And he has a significant advantage over SaltyPhry here, who is going to finish up Village of Outcasts before he even thinks about Pyramid Fairy. Probably going into Thieves Town. Yep, there he goes.
And at this point, because it's fast scanning, Azazaz just has to kill Vitreous, and then we're on to pig roasting.
Yes, SaltyPhry did finish Skullwoods, it just hasn't been updated on the tracker yet. As soon as he finds the Mitts, he'll be in the same position as Azazaz, just needing to do Mire. Can you imagine, though, if Azazaz had done Pyramid Fairy on the way to Pod, like I had suggested? He would have go-moded everything.
That would have been something, but still, to be 1 hour at the 1 hour 3 minute mark, and just have to go kill the pig after finishing off Vitreous with the Godmire. That's impressive.
The cute little bonk there from Azazaz. I'm pretty sure it wastes time, though. Oh, he did the spooky, but he didn't mean to. That's right, we are in Go Mode. You don't gotta do that one. Oh, nice. 3 spins for all the puffs.
And 8 arrows in the eyeball. For a nice draw, but it doesn't matter because that's crystal number 7. So it's time for the big pig.
Go to Turtle Rock. You know you want to. And as we'll save and quit here, and magically appear at the game invite.
Because for those trying to do the big key guessing game, spoiler alert, fast Ganon. Spoiler alert, Ganon's already open. Spoiler alert. Oh, hey, there's the pig.
You guys can guess the warps in Phase 3 if you want. Anywhere between 0 and infinity.
Just like that, Asazas is already on his way to through Phase 2.
Yeah, nice 1-1 there from Asazas, 7 line.
Blind down for SaltyPhry. Oh, I love when this game trolls you.
It's not that funny.
It's
like it was the single most likely place for the silvers to be.
I still love it. I still love it. I mean, Asazas is not worried about those silver arrows at all because he's doing 3 sword spins per cycle.
Looks like SaltyPhry is headed over to the big bomb shop, where he will find his go mode.
Alright. Asazas just has to get through that 1x3 wide bridge. SaltyPhry's on his way to a Titan's Mitts, but it ain't gonna matter because Asazas has come in first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 48 seconds. GG's to Asazas. You move on to the top 8. Or top 16. One of those two. Top 16. I have it up right now.
Okay.
So now SaltyPhry's in go mode.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't know. He'll find out here in a second, though. And this whole siege is coming down to who opted to do Pyramid Fairy first.
I mean, that was quite the seed, and we're joined by Asazas. GG.
Hey, thank you. That was an okay seed, I guess.
It could have been better. Really awkward light world. You at least had the information about the flippers the whole time, so as soon as you got a dark world map check, it was like, oh, I guess we're fired. Fun.
Yeah, I mean, light world was kind of awkward, but at least it kept giving you stuff, and all the dungeons are crystals, so pretty much 20 minutes in the dark world and we were done.
I wanted to ask, since you had the information on the flippers being required a lot sooner than SaltyPhry did you ever have any consideration for just going and doing aggro real quick before you found that moon pearl?
Not really, because if Swamp was a pendant, then we could have skipped that.
Right, but you had the swamp was a crystal information when you went up to Hera.
Oh yeah, right. Well, I cleaned everything else, and yeah, I got the flippers before doing the flippers checks, just in the case the Moon Pearl was when it ended up being in the waterfall, because you cannot get that without the flippers and the Moon Pearl.
So it was very interesting to see how you routed how you basically did all of the other south checks before doing Pyramid Ferry. Was there any specific reason why you didn't do like why you did Pyramid Ferry kind of last before even doing like Swamp Palace?
So Pyramid Ferry last. Well, I kind of liked it to route like that. Being 1 alien away from Go mode for so long, I just prioritized the dungeons. And yeah, then when I exited Swamp Palace, I decided, well, first I'll go to the western side and clean that up, because I hadn't been there yet, nor to Village of Outcasts, nor anything. And then go back and do Pyramid. I don't think it was necessarily a bad route, although it wasn't the best in this seed, of course.
You had like this really fantastic opportunity to win by like 10 extra minutes or something, because coming into the Dark World after finding your Moon Pearl, you were a lot shorter on rupees than SaltyPhry was. He had enough to get into pod after Zora, where you were down to like 12 rupees or something and were forced to go over to Skullwoods instead, which was the second red crystal. So if you had taken your rupees from King's Tomb and gone Hype Cave Pyramid Ferry into pod, like, then you would have been in Go mode before I were stepping foot in pod, and it would have been a lot better. But prioritizing the Crystal Dungeons definitely makes a lot of sense. Being just one item from Go mode, if it's just in a dungeon, you could skip all the overworld.
Yeah, I mean, either way, it is kind of a gamble, especially in a 1v1. Like, if you prioritize dungeons, you are gambling that the overworld won't have what you need, and vice versa.
SaltyPhry gonna need to be careful here with only one heart, but gonna pull out Cape. Does have a red potion, so should be fine.
I think he took damage on purpose to get down to one heart to make it more exciting for us, the viewers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. It's exactly what he was doing. Oh, but he, yeah, didn't drink the potion.
Wait, what hit him? I didn't even see anything hit him. What happened? Did he get hit by the fire bat? It looked like he dodged it.
Yeah, it was like the very end of the fire bat trail.
The tail? Oh, I see.
Yeah, because this is not like the TR lasers that only have collision on the front. Here it's all that is fire hurts you. And the hitbox lingers around like for way more time than you'd expect.
So, while we go through the second attempt, so with you moving on to the top 16, that means you're up against Ninban next. How you feeling about that?
Pretty much feel the same as going into this round and going into the previous round. Like, every opponent is ridiculously good at this point. And I think pretty much every series is a 50-50 between the two players at this point.
I mean, I didn't.
There was no easy route through this tournament.
I mean, I didn't see your race one, so I don't know how close that one was. But I mean, it's the nature of rando. Like, it just came down to who was the first to check Pyramid Fairy when you both had the opportunity.
Yeah, that's typical. Your typical item hunt at the end. That, I mean, that can go either way.
All right. Just gotta wait for the bridge. SaltyPhry will be done. Walks through the door, and SaltyPhry finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 5 seconds. GG, Salty.
GG.
We'll see if we can get SaltyPhry in here for an interview. And we've got SaltyPhry. GG. Salty, can you hear us?
Hello.
There you are. How you doing?
Not bad. GG Asa.
Yeah, GG.
Kind of a rough way to go out with one item from Go mode. It can be anywhere and you have everywhere to check kind of seed. Thankfully, it's glad to hear that you were not as salty as your name.
No, I'm never that salty. That's just kind of the name thing. I'm generally very easygoing, so it doesn't really matter what happens to me. It just kind of is what it is. It was fun either way. I don't know. That's just kind of how rando goes, right? When you're searching kind of everywhere, you're looking for that one item. I mean, it's always nice when it's the myths generally because you prefer that over just about every other item. In general, this is probably about as close as I've been to a Moon Pearl Go mode as well. That would have been pretty sweet if I'd found the myths before the Moon Pearl somehow. But...
Close.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like literally the only item I needed. Like I had everything else before I got the Moon Pearl other than that.
So Pyramid Fairy, pretty unfortunate place for that.
Yeah, just the way I kind of routed everything, kind of made it kind of tough to get back to.
The same thing, like prioritizing the crystal dungeons, but not even doing left side. Either of you did that, but it just kind of worked out where Pyramid Fairy was kind of horrible to go get to.
Yeah, that's it. There was always these other crystal dungeons you wanted to go do, and like Skull Woods being the other one. That's kind of all the way on the other side of the worlds. Like that was kind of the last one I wanted to go do as well. So yeah, it just kind of set me back in general that way. Like that's usually weird. Like sometimes it just comes down to the order you do stuff, right? Like that's like if two people do the same thing and they just do it in different orders, you could still have a huge gap between them just based on that sometimes.
Yeah, I mean it was possible to go mode both Pod and Swamp in this seed if you just did Pyramid Fairy earlier, but why would you?
No, exactly, right. Like, well, I was even thinking, like, if I found the myths, like, in Pod, I was not going to go back, like, or on Helmasaur in particular, I wasn't going to go back, and I was just going to gamble that Bombos was going to be required as the medallion, and even if it wasn't, it's just going to open up the entire world anyway, and most likely the other medallion would probably be somewhere else, so that's just kind of how it goes, though.
Yeah, and I guess it worked better for me, because I was completely broke when I first entered the Dark World. I wanted to go Pod first, but then, I mean, seeing I didn't have the money, I just did Skull Woods from the get-go. Then I got 300 rupees in King's Tomb, I guess, and then went over to Pod. And that kind of worked better for me in order to route the Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, absolutely. I would have always gone into Pod, though, only because even if I was short on rupees, I knew the stun prize was 20 rupees, so it would have been really easy to get up to that 110 probably on the way.
Oh, I wanted to ask you about this, because, okay, so in the early game, you did the Uncle route, and the Uncle didn't have anything, just like a mail upgrade or something. But the first guard you killed dropped a bomb. But then later, you were farming guards for rupees instead of bombs. Did you not realize they were in the bomb pack?
I completely forgot I got that bomb, actually, now that I think about it. Because I went straight and bought bombs, didn't I? Yeah, I completely forgot. I honestly now that you guys mentioned that, I remember getting that bomb, and I remember that I didn't go and use that for some reason, now that I think about it. Yeah, that was
you
kind of
killed,
dumb
like,
on my.
6 extra guards, and I'm like, why is he getting 20 rupees? Why isn't he going after the bomb? That's weird. I mean, rupees are nice and everything, but bombs are bombs.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that bomb. Like, I didn't even use. Like, I should have gone right into like Blind's Hut and used that bomb, and like that would have made routing Kakariko much easier. I guess I wouldn't have had to come back for race game again, like I did
Yeah.
last night. Like, it was the same thing. Like, whenever I have to go and buy bombs, I usually just work my way back up, and I tend to come back and check race game afterwards, since it's only one location, and hopefully I'll have the boots by then, so I can also check the library. Because like, if you don't have the boots, you're not gonna be able to obviously get what's at the library. It's nice to know, but it's not the end of the world if you don't check it.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't a difference maker either way. And farming those guards got you more rupees to get to pot earlier, which, you know, could have had the mitts. It's possible.
Oh yeah, like if you found the mitts like right when you got into Dark World, this would have been super fast this seed, that's for sure.
Yeah, if mitts were in pod, like that would have been the difference maker in the race, because you got to pod so much earlier than asazas because of the rupees.
Yeah, that's just rando, right? When you're looking for that one item and you got some 25 or 30 locations open, you just kind of hope for the best. Sometimes it works out, other times.
All right. Well, as SaltyPhry, any final thoughts before we wrap this up and get on out of here?
I say best of luck going forward. Thanks a lot for all the restreams, the commentary. Thanks a lot to everyone putting on this tournament. It's been fun, and I'll be back for the next one most likely. See you guys.
Well, actually, SaltyPhry, I have one more question for you. Okay,
Oh,
so
sorry, Koi.
no, you're fine. You're fine. So as moving on, he knocks you out of the tournament. It's like right. But moving forward, are you rooting for Azazaz to win the whole thing? To just
Regardless of what's happened to me, so I'll just hope for the best for him and make me look good in the end, maybe.
all right,
It's not going to be easy.
No, it never is in these tourneys, that's for sure. There's so many people that could possibly win this, really, in the end.
All right, as any final thoughts for you?
Yeah, so thank you for setting up the restream, and GG's to SaltyPhry. Yeah, I encourage everyone to go follow SaltyPhry. Like, he was already ridiculously good at Rando when I started playing 2 years ago. He's one of the big names for sure. And yeah, let's see if I can keep getting lucky next rounds.
And also, please be sure to give Azazaz also a follow on Twitch for entertainment we got from that race today. Want to give a shout out to our tracker Bandman25. Did a good job keeping track of all the items and stuff we found along the way on this race. And Koi, always a pleasure to have you in the commentary booth.
yeah, you too, Jack Turkey.
All right, we've got 4 more races to go today on the Speed Gaming network of channels at 6:50 Eastern. We've got P-Train versus Willard J. Bradley. Race number 1 of their match. We've got Adrianic Rick and Sabo Tender giving you commentary on that one. An hour later on Speed Gaming 4 at 7:50, we have Goomba versus McLagan. Mercer and Kern are going to get you commentary there. At 8:20 p.m., Goomba McLagan is race number 2, by the way. Goomba took race 1. At 8:20 p.m., just 30 minutes after that on Speed Gaming 5, we're going to have Jet 82 versus Trinex. Professor Renderer and T-Roo going to give you commentary there. And then Rando After Dark, at least on the East Coast, at 11:50 p.m., we got Gamachu versus Ack the Boker, race number 1 there. And you'll have Fear Agent and Frostbite 3030 giving you commentary there. So a lot of rando action coming up tonight. So please be sure to stick around to the Speed Gaming network of channels for all of those races. And as we're getting through the meat of this tournament. So for Azazaz, for SaltyPhry, for Bandman, for Koi, I am Jex Refi. Thank you all so much for watching. We have certainly appreciate you having aboard. And have a good rest of your day. We'll see you next mission.
Bye all.